Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game. This game is going to be between Biko and Maiev, now taking place here on Autumn Leaves. Let's go ahead and break things down in this matchup. Undead Biko spawning as the orange player over here on the top right hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Maiev spawning as, well, as the name would imply, Night Elf over here on the bottom left. We'll see if he goes Warden first. I actually don't know if Maiev's a he, or in the game I believe she's a she, but yeah, I just naturally assume most WarCraft 3 players are male. Apologies, shout out there if you are a WarCraft 3 player and are female. Just make me apologize, and I'll apologize. But I think according to my statistics, it's like 97% male. So I guess one of the reasons why my wife doesn't get jealous of me having a social media account with so many subscribers. It's like, yeah, they're all guys anyways. Let's go ahead and break things down here. Altar of Elders, Moonwell, and Ancient of War getting constructed over here on the southern side. Meanwhile, pretty standard crypt. Altar of Darkness, there's that Tomb of Relics. Altar of Darkness showing what will the hero be. Death Knight or Crypt Lord are my two guesses right now, and Death Knight it is, with ghouls already being trained up behind. Should be a great game, should be a lot of fun. And thanks for watching, thanks for continuing with the channel for so long. If you have been watching for a while, if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing. Costs you nothing, and well, keeps me relevant in the WarCraft 3 community. Yeah, I don't do it for the views or for the money, but why make something that people are not going to be using? Kind of like making dinner and having the kids not eat it. Well, stop making dinner, right? So thanks for watching out there. Thank you for the support. It will be recognized, and I guess I'm at a little bit of a crossroads with free time being significantly limited, taking on new roles and responsibilities at work, and being a father of 3, making sure that I invest my time well. As I say, real-time strategy games, your main resource is time. What you can do in a certain amount of time. If you give someone a 2-minute lead in WarCraft 3, even against Happy, that 2-minute lead may be insurmountable for Happy to try and come back. If he had to like sit on his hands for 2 minutes and then you went up against him, you're like, okay, well, I'll get my Archmage, I'll run down there and summon up some water elementals and just have a lot of problems. All right, Death Knight. Oh, Ghoul. Oh my goodness, what is happening here? Skeletal minions getting us around. Maiev, surround, mana burn. Death Knight down to 27 hit points. Death Knight perhaps going to be trying to get back on Blight. Ghoul surround, forcing a Scroll of Town Portal. Not sure who actually came out ahead in that battle there. Death Knight taking quite a bit of damage, but you can see that he sacrificed a skeletal minion and now healing up.
Players' forces are under attack.
I don't know if he's playing live. I know this isn't live, but I know he could be playing live. Why don't you go ahead and check him out? All right. And I don't know, maybe he's streaming, maybe he's not. Anyways, coming back around, Kukarata or Biko here going to clear out this Sasquatch Creek camp. Demon Hunter, well, he did take a beating, but he keeps on ticking. That's one of the early benefits of those Moonwells for the Night Elf. Being able to, well, use that Scroll of Town Portal early, back out of a tricky or dicey situation, and still pretty much be able to venture forth and immediately go creeping again. Death Knight still needs a little bit more time of healing. It looks as though his regeneration, that Ritual Dagger, is done. Coming back around, Death Knight. Gauntlets of Ogre Strength plus 3 ghouls, all of this Skeletal Archer, all heading back again. Now, Professional Male Boxer, I think I've seen you on the channel a couple of times before, even asking, like, are you here, and like wanting conversation. If you're really in need of community, I suggest not, or finding a meetup place, right? I know the internet is a great thing, and can be a great thing. It allows us to stay connected, but it's no substitution for actually hanging out with your friends or finding a community. Anyways, Death Knight only now full on items, gonna get a surround on the Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter once again, well, up into the corner. This could be potential problem. Mana burn onto the Death Knight. Death Knight does not have a death coil, so these ghouls could get picked off one at a time. You can see that the ghouls are purposely being backed away now, one at a time. Are they gonna try to rotate again? Gonna go ahead and go back in that one ghoul, and now the Demon Hunter able to escape at 86 hit points, and the Death Knight unable to catch up. Very rarely have I seen rings of protection be used so or shift the landscape of the game so early on, but that's exactly what we see here. That additional ring of protection +3 and that additional 5 agility making a drastic difference early on, as we now see the Naga Sea Witch already out by biko. All right, coming back around. Well, you know what? I've lost too many friends based on ignoring warning signs of trouble and display. If he wants to, you know, right? Sometimes people just need attention. All right. Anyways, coming back around, to Naga Sea Witch, gonna get trained up by the Night Elf side as well. Heading back down here. Demon Hunter running around on the inside here, down to 14 hit points. Is he gonna? Who got the last hit? Naga Sea Witch, I believe, did actually gain experience right there. So Demon Hunter falls at level 2. Naga Sea Witch is now back out, trying to make a break for it. Gonna go after this Naga Sea Witch here. Are both heroes gonna end up getting taken down? Moonwell's trying to fight inside a Moonwell base. This is always very difficult. We're gonna get one more cold arrow, and another hero gets taken down. Biko playing extremely well right now, and with that Dust of Appearance, well, able to get that archer down too. We can see Ancient of Wonders trying to get constructed. That will most likely just get canceled. There's another Dust of Appearance trying to find any other units, but there's an archer back there just hiding in the back here. And well, with nothing inside this base, Biko is able to go after Wisp and clean up before the heroes make their way back out onto the battlefield. Dual Dryads are now out here to act as a little bit of defense, as the low hit point ghoul trying to retreat back away. We're looking at the, well, ghouls, with that Unholy Aura, able to do a little bit of catch-up, as Crypt Fiends are now out here on the battlefield. Right, remember, those Crypt Fiends do deal quite a bit of damage. That Dryad, well, gonna run for her life, but will get taken down, giving level 2 to that Naga Sea Witch. All right, Demon Hunter back out onto the battlefield. Quick mana burn here. We see Mana Shield on the Naga Sea Witch, and, well, we're gonna see level 3 finally on that Demon Hunter. We may see a mana burn there. Well, very interesting to see mana burn away the mana on the hero. Naga Sea Witch may have overstayed her welcome. Biko's Naga Sea Witch gets taken down, as the army, the reinforcements, that home field advantage of getting those units back out there onto the battlefield, and that Dryad does survive. All right, those Moonwells, the MVP of this battle so far. Another Crypt Fiend getting taken down. Obsidian Statue back out here, and we're looking at 34 supply compared to 35. Are we training up the Lich? No, we are not. We are now at Black Citadel, so we could be training up the Lich. That Naga Sea Witch could have been resurrected much earlier back at home, so a little bit of a misstep by Biko. Now getting a half hit point Naga Sea Witch instead of the full variety, as Maiev now pushing back the other way. That Naga Sea Witch also back up full on hit points as well. The tides of battle going back and forth here, right? Tides of battle going back and forth here. And now, as soon as you walk back home just a little bit, you see that walking distance and how it actually plays out on the battlefield. The sudden appearance of additional Crypt Fiends, while there's the longer reinforcements back from home. And that is how, well, the tides can change where you are playing and how this all affects everything. Naga Sea Witch here of Biko coming back across, going to get a little bit more damage. Death Demon Hunter kind of getting surrounded, getting boxed out. We are at Nightfall right now, artificial Nightfall, as we are looking at Druids of the Claw here. Rejuvenation should be going down onto that Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter now getting that rejuvenation. There's that mana burn. He's going to try and retreat away and buying a little bit of time. Maiev is just playing with a very dangerous game here, just trying to min-max everything And if he's able to do so, perhaps another Druid of the Claw is going to be coming out here onto the battlefield shortly. And by getting additional Druids of the Claw out here, he can actually reinforce and heal enough. There's a couple of low hit point ghouls. One ghoul down, another ghoul down here. The Druid of the Claw is not in fighting form, but doing well. Still battling up in that Druid mode. All right, Staff of Sanctuary ready. We're looking at that damage going down onto that Crypt Fiend as well. Demon Hunter trying to go after here. We could see a Naga Sea Witch transfer, and we're waiting for the Staff of Preservation. There you are. Demon Hunter now back at home. Naga Sea Witch needs to slither back here. Gonna get a rejuvenation off of that fresh Druid of the Claw, and there's another Druid of the Claw coming back over as well. Demon Hunter needs a rejuvenation. Is he going to get one? He should be getting one here momentarily. Death Knight now making its way over. There's that rejuvenation, and there's 3 Druids of the Claw fighting in that Druid form, and somehow still able to put in pressure and damage. Obsidian statues are not able to do enough here. Druids of the Claw still all in adept form. They could perhaps try and give a roar to give a little bit more damage. There's a Frost Nova. Lich comes back the other way, and the tides of battle changing again. Staff of Preservation for the save. Druids of the Claw now retreating back once more. 31 supply compared to 43. Demon Hunter is back here. Needs to get a rejuvenation. There's a Frost Nova there. All right, we need to see some rejuvenations. Are we going to... Nope. No rejuvenation. The Frost Nova Death Coil combination, or I believe that was just a Frost Nova auto attacks, able to finish things off. And once more, Night Elf, well, playing that dangerous game, Edge of a Sword, trying to min-max everything. And, well, comes out there. All right, there's that Demon Hunter. This Druid of the Claw needs to go into Druid or fighting form, and now with 960 hit points, able to take a little bit more damage. The Lich and the Death Knight still only at, or Lich only at level 1 Frost Nova. Doesn't have to, well, not forcing those Druids of the Claw just quite yet here. Resurrection onto that Naga Sea Witch, going to be pretty quick. There's another Druid of the Claw here. There's that reinforcing time, and then now biko taking this opportunity to get more experience on his heroes, and then come back perhaps with that stronger initial burst, level 2 Fork Lightning. Oh no, not going to be a Fork Lightning. You can remember that was Mana Shield earlier, and so perhaps the Lich is going to get some Frost Armor, but it's going to be a little bit of time before we actually get stronger nuking spells out of the gate. After 12 minutes, both sides continuing to battle it up against the creep camps finally. 45 supply compared to 50 over 50. There's that Lich now sitting at level 2. Ring of the Archmagi, Claws of Attack +5. Orb of Corruption, that Lich hitting hard now with +15 damage. And also that negative armor debuff. Swinging things back around here, Lich, Naga Sea Witch heading over for that red creep camp. There are 2 obsidian statues, and it's now time for biko to perhaps, figure out what his follow-up play is going to be. Bank a little bit more gold as we're looking at the Granite Golem and those Dire Wolves getting cleaned up. Abominations, Ogre Maulers here, going to clear up this Granite Golem creep camp, perhaps make their way off to the north. Needing to get to level 3 on that Lich for that burst, perhaps even getting to level 5 on that Death Knight. Meanwhile, Demon Hunter sitting at level 4, Naga Sea Witch gets to level 3, and, well, Kagar's Pipe of Insight. And this is something that I actually personally like on the Night Elf, especially with so many Druids of the Claw. In this matchup where you're going undead, or where you're versing undead, you often... after you Staff of Preservation, you can transform your Druid of the Claw back into Druid form and then rejuvenate it. And then even walking back to the battlefield, he may be ready to be in fighting form again if you have that level of micro. All right, things are going to go a little bit, well, nope, not south yet. You see a Death Coil, Demon Hunter going to quickly drain that Moonwell. Nicely played. Moonwell management always key here as the Demon Hunter taking quite a bit of damage. There's a little bit more Moonwell again. Perhaps going to try to buy a Potion of Healing. Doesn't have a room for that. Could get a Staff of Preservation to hide behind those Moonwells just a little bit more and now venture forward. But that was a lot of free damage as they were chasing that Demon Hunter, who is fairly tanky. All right, Druid of the Claw does get taken down. The Demon Hunter does not have room for another Staff of Preservation as a beautiful save by biko, saving one of those Abominations and that Ogre Mauler in the back. The longer this game or the battle goes, though, the more that the Abominations are just going to be back into that front battlefield. Death Knight could be in trouble. No, uses that push, that health stone, Ogre, Mauler, and Abomination fall. Obsidian statues still making their way over, and both sides are just suffering pretty heavy casualties. There goes another Crypt Fiend. This burrowed Crypt Fiend being able to heal up nicely, as the Druid of the Claw should be going back into fighting form here in just a moment. Demon Hunter down to 221 hit points. He's going to get Staff of Preservation back home again. Druid of the Claw just trying to hang on here. Are we going to see a rejuvenation? No. We see, what was that, Destroyer and now Devour Magic. Demon Hunter is going to be able to mana burn that Obsidian statue, should be able to do exactly that and take it down. All right, Naga Sea Witch constantly getting cold arrows. Demon Hunter doesn't have boots of speed, and that Demon Hunter, well, could just try and finish off that Obsidian statue. Come on, mana burn it. Thank you. All right, picking off the low-hanging fruit when your prey is trying to get away. That's exactly what you need to do. Lasting impact, trailing damage. No fault in trying to well, actually deal legitimate damage here, as the Naga Sea Witch comes on over, doesn't have Dust of Appearance. So that, well, that Crypt Fiend can be fine for a little while. There goes another Crypt Fiend, level 5 now on the Demon Hunter, level 2 mana burn onto that Lich, as the units are trying to retreat back here. Biko trying to fall back. Obsidian statues low on mana, need to perhaps transform into Destroyer form to be useful. Meanwhile, that Naga Sea Witch, well, able to fall back again. A little accidental gift wrapped onto a Crypt Fiend there. There's some Devour Magic eating up some of that precious Bloodlust. Lich gets up to level 3. That's going to be important. But right now, this Obsidian statue needs to work overtime, providing hit points and mana to this rather beaten up Undead army. All right, burrowed Crypt Fiend is spotted and taken down. 0-1 upgrades for those Dryads and Bears. Demon Hunter is, as we said earlier, at level 5 with level 3 mana burn. And now Undead, well, sitting at 4-3-3. And, well, it is going to come down to that initial fight. Biko's hit points and mana is still low on his starting hero, or on that tri-hero right now. So if a fight was to break out, that initial burst damage may not be enough, especially with that Staff of Preservation being able to pull out a Druid of the Claw quickly. Instead, it looks as though, well, Biko's getting an opportunity to clear out some more creep camps and perhaps get to level 5 on the death. Nope. Gonna be just a little bit shy. 49 experience shy from level 5. As now, are we going to see it? Oh, there's that roar, and now back into bear form to try and engage. That's a 25% damage bonus across all of these units here. Naga Sea Witch, we can see the Kagar's Pipe of Insight providing a little bit of mana. And if you ever wonder why, how come there is just so much hit points on these bears, it is that slight mana regeneration, that extra half a point of mana per second, and suddenly these bears, well, have a lot of mana there. There's a Death Coil Frost Nova straight up onto the Demon Hunter. There's some Fork Lightning exchanges again. Fork Lightning, that level 2 variety. However, Druid of the Claw quickly gets bursted down. Demon Hunter needs a mana burn off the rest of these units. No Staff of Preservation for the save. Death Knight down to 173 hit points. Potion of Healing for a save there. Another Druid of the Claw could get taken down. That's 3 Druids of the Claw exchanged here, as, well, perhaps Maiev thinks that he has a larger army and can afford it. There's a Staff of Preservation for the save there. Naga Sea Witch backing up. All of the Druids of the Claw could get lost. All right, so another Staff of Teleportation coming back inbound, and without Roar and without a front line, Naga Sea Witch could be in trouble. Naga Sea Witch doesn't use the Scroll of Town Portal in time, and the Demon Hunter comes back around here, and Biko now, well, with 3 heroes, able to force the Night Elf to retreat, even though he is behind on supply. A 15 supply deficit by Biko. But then again, well, Biko has, does he have everything he needs? He has heroes and he has obsidian statues. I've said this in the past. Sometimes all it feels like you need are heroes and obsidian statues, and you can win the game with Undead. And that seems to be the case here, as we're looking at some more damage go down at Death Knight. Well, finishing off an archer there, 4-3, Lich nearly at level 4. That level 4 frost, or we could get higher frost armor, but that's not going to amount to very much. Death Knight was not able to get off a Death Coil there, as the Demon Hunter's mana burn, well, able to keep these 3 undead heroes in check. There's a Death Coil, and now the Demon Hunter forced to, well, head back, get to some rejuvenation. Meanwhile, Death Knight could be in trouble. Death Knight down to 400 hit points after the Potion of Greater Healing. Dryad getting taken down. Demon Hunter still chasing that Death Knight. And just non-stop action here as the Death Knight now trying to retreat back. He needs to get back under the cover of all of these obsidian statues and heal up just a bit. 40 supply compared to 39. Abomination. Does he have Disease Cloud? No, he does not. So these guys around him are not going to be suffering too much. We're looking at more damage. Another mana burn coming across here as the Demon Hunter should really be starting to mana burn the obsidian statues as well, since that's providing cover for all of the other heroes. All right, Death Knight now being forced to retreat back. Demon Hunter playing mana burn Juggle across 3 enemy heroes. Now going to try to rejuvenate again. Needs to get heal up again. Needs to get a rejuvenation as the bears are now going after the Druids of the Claw. Demon Hunter fighting amongst a sea of Moonwells. Is he going to be able to rejuvenation? There's a rejuvenation again. And that Demon Hunter playing at on the very edge somehow comes back around. We're going to see another mana burn. Naga Sea Witch now back out onto the battlefield. And the ebb and flow of battle very strong now as we're looking at the Demon Hunter trying to catch up to that Lich. All right. Cold Arrow is perhaps going to go down onto some of these other targets. Naga Sea Witch down to 500 hit points. Obsidian Statue, really no chance of being able to come back as the Cold Arrow lasts just a little bit longer on those targets, as biko pushed back too far perhaps. 3 Crypt Fiends already there. We need to see another Obsidian Statue or 2. Main gold mines now have mined out, and what you see is what you get in terms of armies until more mining is taking place. We can see, well, there's a Dryad here. That's a lot of wisps on the corner. Nature's Blessing getting upgraded in order to, well, uproot your tree of eternity and get it into a nice, good spot again. Acolytes should be trying to haunt this gold mine already. Every second matters if you're expecting to mine a little bit more gold, and there goes the Acolytes there, just waiting on that building to be summoned. That's going to be 100 seconds, so that will take more, a minute and a WarCraft minute and a half now.
A player's forces are under attack.
Coming back through. Death Knight picks up a Wand of Illusion. Could. Oh, that could be. Oh no, does it on the Death Knight himself. I thought for a second, well, should have done. Oh, here we are. Mana burn. There's Roar. Fork lighting this Death Knight coming back across here. Naga Sea Witch trying to hide in the very far back. There's a Scroll of Town Portal forcing a retreat. Dryad getting taken down. This Lich could be in trouble, but the Scroll of Town Portal gonna whisk away the enemy units in time. Saving that Lich. So by putting pressure on the Naga Sea Witch, stopping the battle, and then by stopping the battle, saving that Lich there. 42 supply compared to 39. Still needs another 45 seconds to establish up that gold mine. Meanwhile, this Tree of Eternity, well, it's going to take a bit of time before it entangles this gold mine. Wait for it. Yep, another minute as well. Undead army coming around the corner. Sees the Tree of Eternity. Is going to try to go after the gold mine here. Meanwhile, the Demon Hunter Naga Sea Witch need to fall back here. A little bit of damage. Tree of Eternity damage. Not going to matter very much. It's just too many hit points. Decent armor. And, well, there's the Frost Nova. Are we going to see a mana burn? Mana burn perhaps onto the Naga Sea Witch. They're down by 150. There goes a Ghoul and a Ghoul again. Demon Hunter now trying to rush back around. There is a Staff of Preservation on the Naga Sea Witch, so would easily just send that Demon Hunter back home with decent hit points. Trying to go after some additional targets. There's a Death Coil onto the Naga Sea Witch. biko dealing the big blow, taking down the Naga Sea Witch. And the Naga Sea Witch being out of commission means that the Demon Hunter doesn't have a Staff of Preservation to be saved. Demon Hunter rejuvenation may be coming to an end here. There's another rejuvenation. Druid of the Claw comes back. Remember, also the Naga. Oh my gosh, that Demon Hunter able to escape back. The Naga Sea Witch was the one with the Brilliance Aura. So the mana issues across the Druids of the Claw could amount if they actually survive. Demon Hunter comes back here trying to go after some of those Crypt Fiends. Demon Hunter needs a little bit more hit points. 3 more hit points or 3 more experience to get into well, get into Metamorphosis. Metamorphosis is going to come online, but how much hit points is he really going to gain here as he's trying to attack back against all these units? Chaos damage, trying to put in pressure. We're looking at the Obsidian statue. That's going to get taken down. All right, Demon Hunter. Is he really going to go after all three of these heroes constantly? This Druid of the Claw, what is going on? Why did he transform back? He needed to find the other one. Oh, he transformed back so he can get a rejuvenation here. Invul potion now onto the Death Knight, and it's going to be a Moonwell for the save again. All right, turn back around. Frost Nova, Demon Hunter, Death Knight, battling up down to 149 hit points. Units continuing to try and heal and save. All of these units are just kind of clumped together, and we're looking at the damage racking up. Demon Hunter using every bit of hit points. There are a bunch of full Moonwells in the back here, though, and now going to be able to fight back in once more. All right, Naga Sea Witch, Demon Hunter, Metamorphosis, but it's not going to last forever. It does not last forever. Nothing lasts forever as the Demon Hunter now chases after the Lich. Lich, Frost Armor, slowing down that Demon Hunter. Druid of the Claw coming back way. All right, mana or gold is being mined back up. There's a mana burn, but that's not going to be enough. Naga Sea Witch, however, loses those cold arrows as the Demon Hunter tries to get back in front once more. All right, going to go after the targets. Death Knight does have a little bit of mana. There's a mana burn again, and it's really mana burn juggling for this Demon Hunter, sitting with level 3 mana burn against all three undead heroes. Obsidian statue also now out of mana. We see another rejuvenation on the Demon Hunter again, and this Demon Hunter, one-man army, Superman army trying to go after, and the Obsidian statue just doesn't have mana. Demon Hunter able to constantly mana burn all three of these units again and again, causing problems as the units retreat back. Goldmine is fully saturated on both sides. We see the Staff of Preservation bringing back that unit there, but remember, we're fighting at the Tree of Eternity, so you're not really sending them back home as you are just moving them, well, like 60 pixels this way. Back down to the south once more. All right, beautiful game. Moonwells, they do have that Moon Wellspring upgrade, a 33 increase in capacity. That is absolutely huge, and that is the reason why the Demon Hunter has been able to do what he wants to do. All right, now Demon Hunter needs to dive back in here. There is 39 seconds. You can see a little bit of damage. Perhaps some repairs are in order, and here we are, here we go. Getting a little bit of poke now. All right. Using every bit of hit points. Yeah, this Wisp should be repairing the Tree of Eternity now. You need to buy time to be able to fend it off. And here we are, here we go. Mana Burn, Ogre Mauler back in on the fight. 651 supply. Where is the Naga Sea Witch? How? Naga Sea Witch now resurrected. So Night Elf gonna have a partner in crime. Demon Hunter gonna be in trouble, down to 363 hit points. Now venturing too far forward, needs a rejuvenation. There's a Death Coil and needs to get a rejuvenation. What is going on? That was no reason. Well, there's a wait, come on, Demon Hunter, rejuvenation. You're just asking for it right now. Death Knight may be able to mail it. After all the saves, Metamorphosis was on a line. And in the end, the small play makes the drastic difference. And that is the game right there. I gotta say, I don't want to call it a throw by the Night Elf because Biko played out of his mind, and so did the Night Elf Maiev. Like, they both played very great. Maiev played on the edge of a sword for so long, was keeping up that balance act, was able to escape with that Demon Hunter so often, and then in the end, after a 27-minute game, letting that micro slip, and that's all it takes. One big slip up and the opportunity and the game gets away. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Here are the final scores.